really don't think that some of y'all comprehend how fucking absurd it is to be working on a rock that is floating in the middle of fucking space, that where we were provided with food, water, and fucking shelter. Do you not understand that the government literally came in, took all of these resources for themselves, and are now issuing us parts of them? Shit that they got for free! That was here before any of us were even fucking born! A lot of y'all do not understand to what extent we are being exploited, and it drives me fucking crazy because the programming works. It works. They pump us full of social media. They pump us full of TV. All this shit to program our minds to thinking that this shit is normal. The first 12 years of your life is literally programming. They literally tell you how things are supposed to be, and we just fucking go with it. Y'all have no idea how absurd this life is. I can't. I really can't. For those of you who are confused, this is the real issue. Money is not worth what it was in the 70s. The spending power of the dollar has greatly decreased. In 1970, you could get a loaf of bread for 25 cents. Bread is now $4.99. So here's a chart of basically how money has inflated. So here's a chart to show you how inflation is really crippling our economy and the government is getting away with treating us like slaves. The equivalent value of a dollar in 1970 is $7.25 today. Do you think that it's a coincidence that minimum wage is $7.25, knowing that fact? The government knows that basically you make $8 a day if you make $7.25 an hour. The government knows exactly what the fuck they're doing, and we're all being taken for a ride. When are y'all going to wake up? I really don't think that some of y'all comprehend how fucking absurd it is to be working on a rock that is floating in the middle of fucking space, that where we were provided with food, water, and fucking shelter. Do you not?
Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break off the bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. This is slavery. Even drinking water bottles. Let's not forget about how terrible the plastic is for the environment. A million water bottles are used every year, man. And all them plastics end up in the sea, killing the wildlife. Hmm. In the video, the woman's gonna say, bread in the 1970s was 25 cents, dollars. Only losing the side.
Not understand that the government literally came in, took all of these resources for themselves, and are now issuing us parts of them. Shit that they got for free!
And what do they say? They'll say, oh, people are showing each other in Africa. They'll say, yeah, was already fighting amongst themselves and killing themselves. So why can't we kill them? I was killing each other. Why can't we kill them? But look at these idiots. You can tell, man. The beautiful thing about this truth, once once you receive reincarnation, if it's in your life to receive it, you really get to understand. Like your experience now really helps you understand life was back then and how you know nothing is new, man.
For free!
Because they'll say God is savages. They'll say the unquote Africans are savages. They'll sell themselves, killing each other. But look at this Edomite system. See, even the beast nations, even the ten horns, are fighting amongst themselves right now. And look, and outside of all the spoils that Esau has committed to the Israelites and the other heathens, Esau Edom, he could World War I, World War II. Look what Esau Edom is going to do to other Edomites. Look at World War III. You know, you can look at it with Russia. The Russian Edomites, are closer to the cave Edomites and the Babylonian Edomites. We're about to see the atrocities they do to each other. We're seeing the atrocities. It's a propaganda war. We're seeing the atrocities that the Russians and Ukrainians are committing against each other. These are savages. They come here and they get spoiled. All they do is spoiled. Mm-hmm. Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled, and they are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth; for a spoil, and none saith restore. What did America say they was going to give you reparations? It was 40 acres in the mule really meant for the slave owners. And they said they was going to get you reparations, and they said, oh, hold up. Yeah, they were so scared, man. They were just so scared that Jake would just rise up, man. Because that's what they did. All they needed to do was put that Babylonian wine on you. All this land, all the resources, what they call third world country. That's what, even before this truth went up in high school, I knew what was considered a third world country and a first world country was bullshit. Because you're calling a first world country, you're calling a country a third world country because its number one producer is agriculture. You know what I mean? They don't build all these things that don't come from the earth. That's not sustainable. The most important thing is food. You're gonna call them a third world country, but you call a first world country all the countries that overspend, you know, have crazy structures, that infrastructure that doesn't even last, and massive debt, drilling into the earth, all the oils and resources destroying themselves. That's what they consider a first world country. That's why I knew this. Man, that's not even before this 2007 was published. Man, I couldn't take it, man. It just kills you, man. This is the snare, man. it's a snare. It's one thing that it's like you want your kid just to be, if he's gonna do something, you want him to be successful at it. You want your kid to be able to apply themselves. So you want them to do something in school. You want them to be able to try. You want them to be able to read. You want them to be able to problem solve. But also, man, it's almost if they fail in school, man, it's almost like you gotta end not being indoctrinated, man. Because even the people, yes, a great a work ethic is important and it's truth, it's not supposed to make us slack away from self improvement. But these people are so invested in this world, man. This world is not permanent. The world of Esau Edom is not permanent. We're gonna see inflation worse than Waymart. These single women with multiple kids, man, it's not gonna be looking good for them. These, man, the single women living in apartment complexes is not gonna be looking good for them. Yeah. You can't even where I live. You can't even farm. You can't even own chickens unless you have an acre of land. So we're buying up, we're building these nice houses, and we should be buying large lots. We should people should have more of their own individual agriculture. But look, they force all these farmers out. They use that globalization, push all these farmers out. The number one, you can tell a big nation is beginning because everything starts from the ground level where you need more of the average person doing that until they find a new they advance in agriculture, which allows a small percent of the population to make food for the population, so the other people can focus on other careers and they can focus on other things. Man, that's crazy right now. Man. This battle on the brink, man. We're close to the end. When a military soldier out here is getting paid now while girl, you might have a 16-year-old girl on Instagram. She made more than somebody who, yeah, he might be someone who fight for this country, die for this country, man. Man, if you go on one of these Roman Centurion raids, man, you should come back from Syria with another wife, man. You should come back from Palestine. If you're in Israel, just come back from Palestine with another wife, man. Because of all the murder, rape, and pillaging that they do, man. All the murder and husbands, man. Gad was over here. Yeah, they were fighting each other, but these men were peaceful with the land. I mean, they weren't exterminating these people to the extent these Edomites have, man. They weren't creating a system based off of color, man. They weren't putting them in making them death slaves. They weren't destroying the land with this. They weren't taking advantage of them, but then selling them. Man, they didn't put one. They didn't put a bone in their silver teeth. They didn't follow their water, their air.
That was here before any of us were even fucking born. A lot of y'all do not understand to what extent we are being exploited, and it drives me fucking crazy because the programming works. It works. They pump us full of social media. They pump us full of TV. All this shit to program our minds to thinking that this shit is normal. The first
And it works, man. Man, it works, man. 2 weeks for 2 years, man, and it works, man. And they're gonna come, I'll bring it back. Ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, or blood defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. All this murder and pillaging, and it's just America's God. I believe Truman's quote that I fear that America. One thing I fear for America that God is just. So I believe it was Thomas Jefferson. So, indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and that His justice cannot sleep uh, forever. That is considered numbers, natures, and natural means only a revolution of the wheel of fortune, an exchange of situation which is among possible events that may become probable by supernatural interference. Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor to the battle to the strong, neither yet the bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to the men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. This was, and like Thomas Jefferson, I believe, was saying this. He says, indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect God is just. And is God just? Is God just? A false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, but a false balance is not good. This is looking at this sounds just to me. And that his justice cannot sleep forever, considering numbers and nature, and natural means only a revolution of the fortune of the wheel of fortune, and exchange of situations is among possible events that may become probable by supernatural intervention. So when it says it's not to the race of the swift, it's not the quickest. Man, it's not the race isn't won by man who just the fastest man. The battle is not won by man who just got the strongest man. More favor to the man of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. It's Yahweh, Hawashai, man. Everybody been through reincarnation, man. And you go look at them Edomites that been poor, man. Look at the homeless Edomites, man. Look at them. That's two-time losers. Hey, everybody got their judgment. The Lord is not unjust, man. Someone was not just live one life born homeless. Somebody wasn't just live one life and born with some physical disability, man. They was punished for that for their sins in the past life. And it's not that the Edomites aren't the most physically capable uh, humans, man. What we just seen, even Russians a lot better than the American military, man. We seen Afghanistan fight them off, man, until they were bankrupt. America just left Afghanistan, man. They can't even be the country with so-called illiterate women, man. They like to describe all of them as misogynistic. They need to free the women. They say that and they need to go fight for these women. Need to fight for the freedom, man. But if you're so advanced, more than all these countries that are so primitive that Esau makes them out to be, why aren't they able to win wars against them, man? They're so uneducated. Man, well, it's not like Esau was the strongest heathen, man. But they have the guns, man. And how King David when the Lord was dealing with King David, man, he put 10,000 to flight, man. Alexander the Great had them chariots with him because that was the conquer prophecy. So like when David, man, it was for them to conquer prophecy, man. But David came over here through reincarnation as a slave. Our king went into slavery too. Man, he was King David, man. He didn't get the spiritual power to break up, man. That wasn't time. And there was a time when, man, Jay could really put army of 10,000 to the human down, man. And that's why, man, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI gave time and chance. Oh, man, he gave the Edomites a chance, man. Gave them the guns. Realistically, man, there were enough slaves and there weren't enough slave supervisors to the eventual riot, overthrowing plantation rebellion could have won, man. Or at least, man, numbers wise, how much of the slaves are numbered by the slave masters. The BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI gave the Edomites the sword, and he also gave them, well, also put the spirit on them, and the Edomites, man, they had a little spiritual power, man, that the hedge of protection around the Edomites is falling off, man. This Daniel 4:17. This is by the decree of the watchers. No, this manner is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men, the Edomites. This is all time and chance, man. And then he knows there's gonna come a time when the wheel of fortune, when the revolution of the wheel of fortune exchanges situations is a possible event, man. Probable supernatural intervention, man. So that's what we're gonna need. Yahweh Shai. So the baseless man, he put him up high and gave him the highest level to deal with Satan. Never that he can't have no chance of beating, but it perceives that he gave these men the chance to fight against Yahweh Shai, or gives the appearance, man. And the changing of situations is because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to the other.
First 12 years of your life is literally programming. They literally tell you how things are supposed to be, and we just fucking go with it. Y'all have no idea how absurd this life is. It's I can't. I really can't.
And this Babylonian one, it's absurd, man. And you show me, man. As much as people complain, as much as people talk about how much America is garbage, or how much it's foreigners talk about America is garbage, you show them that when it came time to take the prerogative, they don't want to be anywhere else. Watching all this, man, watching all the George Floyd, man, they was all saying, oh, America's racist, America's racist, America's racist, man, they're killing us all. We can't live in countries, man, so, now they care about us. The same people that took the Jews from world would say, black babies are more likely to die during labor than that, so, man, why? Man, you trust them? So you think they only kill me one time? You think that you know the sense, man, this promise they give you know the extent of the wickedness of Esau, man. Ecclesiastes 39:26. The principal things for the man, okay, the principal thing for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, the blood of the grape, wine, oil, and clothing. Man, we should not be killing each other over these. Man, all these things are valuable, man, but in Babylon the Great, the way these things are manipulated and marketed. See, we look at Elon Musk, we look at Bill Gates, like they're the billionaires, but man, there's such a whole level of these people, these Edomite families that literally hold a whole resource, man, water springs. They're buying and selling their resources. And well, anything you have really ain't wealth. You don't have no cattle. You know what I mean? You have a plastic chicken breast in the refrigerator. And behold, we are yet to stay in our captivity, man. This is slavery, man. This is not normal, man. Where thou scattered us for a reproach, a curse, and to be subject unto payments. We're drinking our water by measure, man. You know, bread by weight, man. Man, we're about to have a resource just because of this Ukraine war, man. You know, Bill Gates got in control of all the food supply, man. We're looking very well famine, man. There are people who are planning on starting a restaurant, and they don't know the famine's coming. And according to all the iniquities of their fathers, which departed from the Lord, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, our power, man. Man, Jake has the least. Jake is the least prepared. Jake won't get it. You know, the nigga won't move. You know, the nigga won't live paycheck to paycheck. We're about to see that the nigger woman, the multiple businesses that she look up to, the multiple businesses, the education, the successful woman, how fast she could lose it, how she had multiple businesses, that she had loans, she had a whole bunch of loans from the bank. She's about to see the bank runs. They're about to see the bills that Obama, this nigger woman worshiping Obama, they're about to see about the bills that Obama passed to steal all your rights, to steal your property, take you for no reason, and hold you indefinitely for no reason. In thy sweat of thy face shall thou eat bread. Man, just to get that bread, man, you gotta work and be sweating to your face until thou return unto the ground, for out of it was taken from dust the earth shall unto dust shall y'all return, man. So I be referring down the dirt, man. We're gonna die in the dirt, and we're gonna work hard and die. That's the curses, man. It's the curses. But we know, man, since we've gone off in the beginning. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's all they've done. They slayed your brother Jacob to control the resources, man. They tell you, man, they were saying all the black people should succeeded, man. The Nigerians are Judah, just like the Judahites are the African American man. People love to talk about how Nigerian average makes more than a white man supposedly by Esau's statistics. Yeah, how many Wall Streets before summer of 1919 that were here, man. If it wasn't for all that, man, you'd be looking at the average African American just like you look at the Nigerian success, maybe more, man, maybe even more, man. But they slayed your brother Jacob, man, to keep you in this monetary system, man. Man, the black church, man, they should have taught your women how to be wives. They should have taught your women how to cook. They should have known the precepts. Should have taught the men how to. Should have educated the men. Should have gave the men a trade. Should have worked in the community system. Should have worked within the community system of the trade, building infrastructure for your community, buying land, building generations. No, man. These churches, man, they fucking their kids off education. And their kid got this degree for a stepkids, man. Yeah. Christianity is all about integrating with society. 800 million. 800 billion in the past 10 years of the black church, man. It's done nothing. Thus saith the Lord, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and took all them captives and held them fast, and they refused to let them go. This is not normal, man. Instead of physically letting us go, they pushed all this Babylonian wine to make us think this is normal. This is not normal.
For those of you who are confused, this is the real issue. Money is not worth what it was in the 70s. The spending power of the dollar has greatly decreased. In 1970, you could get a loaf of bread for 25 cents. Bread is now $4.99. So here's a chart of basically how money has inflated. So here's a chart to show you how inflation is really crippling our economy and the government is getting away with treating us like slaves. The equivalent value of a dollar in 1970 is $7.25 today. Do you think that it's a coincidence that minimum wage is $7.25, knowing that fact? The government knows that basically you make $8 a day if you make $7.25 an hour. The government knows exactly what the fuck they're doing, and we're all being taken for a ride. When are y'all going to wake up?
Yeah, $7 an hour. $7 an hour. Man, it's like $1 an hour. That's minimum wage. That's a, man, that's just glorified slavery, man. Oh, maybe we got 14, maybe we got 20, man. And maybe it's just like $2, maybe like 30 cents a day. You're getting paid $70 an hour. Ooh, that looks like good in Babylon. Man, that's a quality trade. It's $10 an hour. Yeah. During the '70s, it used to be the CEO had $25 for every dollar an employee had. Now they have $25,000 for every $1 an employee. This is man. When people really think this is normal, they let the social media, the programming, convince them that this is normal. People glorify the struggle, man. You know, if I need something, man, and I have less, I need to sacrifice my conditions and work hard, man. Like, man, if I gotta go to school and I don't have the means, I wasn't born with financial support. I gotta work and go to school, man. But to go to school and to pay all this debt and no, I'm not saying industry education. Esau's education. No, we don't do not promote that. But they glorify this robbery for you, and look at your prices now. All the other calls over $1 trillion in college loans. It's crazy. Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy this mountain, the face. He will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and a veil that is spread over all nations. And that's Israel to make all of us normal. Mm. Mm. I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and a measure of barley for a penny, and thou shalt hurt not the oil and the wine. Man, that's why they don't tell you about the concordance. I mean, what does this penny mean?
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
It's denarius, a Roman silver coin in the New Testament time. It took the name being equal to 10 asses. So this denarium, this denarius, was running the Roman time. For denarius was a day's wage. He says it would be worth between $10 and $100. So if you work for a denarius, for if you went to work, for a lot of the minimum wage, that's as much as people get working a $15 an hour job, and you might get about $100 a day. I mean, I might be in the shit, but a denarius is a day's wage. So man, just like now with this inflation, it's getting so high. For gasoline, it's a day's wage, man. It's wheat. Ukraine making this wheat raise. It's gonna be expensive, man. Shall not always take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against a proverb taunt? a taunting proverb and a proverb and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that is not his how long, and to him that laden himself with iniquity. I mean, with laden himself with thick clay, and that thick clay is that debt. And how they use all this debt, and they use it to hoard all the resources, and they give us this artificial life that we think is normal. How long? Well, this is not how long until the people will say, man, we've been fed that bull, that BS, man. The way of Babylon is not that, man. People uh, just sleep, man. False balance is an abomination to the Lord, and but a just weight is his delight. Diverse weight is an abomination to the Lord. A false balance is not good. So even with the denarius, they kept adding different metals and putting cheaper metals in the denarius. Just like now with inflation, and just like now, how they're taking more debt out, how all these government spending is affecting is how how it ruins our life, man. We're getting a less substance life, man. So they give us a bread and circus, they give us the canary, they give us they give us this fast food lifestyle, man. It's also all the things that we need. We really don't need it. One thing we need to know that wisdom is a principal thing, and therein get wisdom, and with all I getting, get understanding. Proverbs 4:7. Birthday how, birthday how, shy, birthday how, birthday how, shy. For this lesson is edifying. This life is not normal, and don't be deceived. And I'm not saying, well, you have to be a super stoic. Definitely know this life is, yeah, we forsake this life.